take that second and think about what of these things is my biggest trigger, my biggest problem, my biggest overwhelm right now. And then pick one of these 7 habits that you think would best help counter that negative thought, that negative feeling that is going on right now, and implement it right away. And then when you're ready, implement another one, and another, and another, until you get to all 7, or you get to all 5. Whatever number makes you feel good. Hey mama, are you struggling with how to make time for yourself as a work-at-home mom? Are you drowning in laundry and dishes, poopy diapers, and kids who are constantly screaming, Mom, even though they're 5 feet away from you? I get it. I'm Jessa Ray, and this is Caught Up in Motherhood, where I want to help you set priorities, create boundaries, ask for help, and learn to love yourself in motherhood again. You can show up for you without sacrificing motherhood and without the guilt. So if you're ready to be caught up in motherhood, then go grab a fresh cup of coffee and that laundry basket sitting in the corner. Don't worry, I've got mine too. And listen in to today's episode. The kids are finally in bed, and all you can think to do is relax. Just veg on the couch, maybe watch a show, surf the internet, go through socials, just completely numb out and do nothing. And I get it. I have been there. I have done that. I still do that from time to time, just wanting to numb out after a long day with the kids and life and running around, and you just want to sit still and do nothing for a couple minutes. And I get it. I want to do it too. But at the same time, we still need to get a couple things done. We need to set ourselves up for success for the next day. And we need to allow ourselves to have a good night's sleep by doing a couple of good habits that are going to help us get that good sleep, be productive the next day, and just reset ourselves for productivity. And these are going to be 7 habits that I do and that I think you should consider doing, like heavily consider doing these. Maybe, test them out tomorrow night or tonight, depending on when you're listening to this, and see how it goes. Give it a week, okay? Write down these 7 habits that I have. Give it a week. See how it goes. See how you're feeling. Because I think you're going to feel more productive and more energized in the morning because of these things you're going to do before bed. Now, I know you want to numb. I know you want to go on socials and you want to spend that time there. I get it. Set a timer. Give yourself that little bit of time to do those things, because it's going to be hard to cut cold turkey or to eliminate it or reduce it, I should say, down to just, let's say, 10 or 15 minutes. So take a little bit of time. Do that if you really think you need it, but set a timer. So that way it helps pull you out of it. Okay? That's just a little extra thing to do, because it's really hard to just pull away from that want of just numbing and relaxing and doing nothing. So once you've done that, okay, you had your little downtime, right? Consider it a little bit of self-care, just a little bit, but numbing, not so much. You're going to start doing these things before bed. Now, you don't have to necessarily do them like right before bed, like the hour before some of these things. Some of these things you're going to do throughout the course of the night. All right, so the first one you can do while the kids are still up. And I would encourage you to incorporate them in this task, have them help you a little bit with it. And the first thing is that you reset the house. Okay, you clean up the toys. You clean up the living room. You put away the blankets and the pillows, because for some reason mine are just thrown all over the house every single day. And you do the dishes and you reset the kitchen and you get it prepped that way for the morning, because you don't want to go to bed because you're tired and exhausted and you just don't want to deal with it. And you get up in the morning after maybe sleeping a decent amount, right? And the first thing you see is the dirty dishes in the sink, And then you realize you have no bottle because you didn't wash any of the bottles last night. And now you have a crying baby who's hungry and all the dishes and all the bottles are dirty. Great way to start the morning, right? So taking some time to kind of reset a little bit. And if this is something that is completely new to you and you've never really done it before, you're having a hard time grasping it, I strongly suggest that you start with doing a 15-minute clean. Okay? Pull out your phone, set a timer for 15 minutes, and then go and clean, reset the space. So if you can do it, reset your kitchen in that 15 minutes. And if you still have a little bit of time left, move into the living room. If you don't and you need that full 15 to do your kitchen, then that's fine. Just do that. The whole point is that we're trying to create a new habit. And I want these habits to be a positive experience and something that you're going to want to do and want to be repetitive. Not something that you're feeling forced to do or I have to do and having this negative connection to it. We want to build that positive connection. So if you need to, set a 15-minute timer, concentrate on your kitchen space, and then move into your living room space. And then as you get more comfortable with it, maybe you expand that, or maybe you do a little bit more. Maybe you are in the kitchen and your husband and the kids are in the living room, or vice versa, right? Divide and conquer. Resetting that space that little bit helps so much, because who wants to get up in the middle of the night with a crying kid and step on all the Legos and Hot Wheels or Barbie dolls that are all over the floor? I don't know about you, but I don't like doing that, and I have done it. It is not fun. I hate it. So if you have not gotten to that stage yet, let's try to avoid it. So first thing, reset the house. So that way you're giving yourself a clean slate in the morning, fresh go, and you're able to just go and live in the moment of the day and not having to deal with the messes from yesterday. Okay, a little bit of a tangent, but it's important. Second habit that you should start to incorporate is laying out whatever it is that you're going to need for the morning. So this is prepping. Okay, you want to take some time and think about, what do I need to wear tomorrow? What am I doing tomorrow? Do I need to dress as if I'm going out somewhere? Do I need to, or can I should say, can I dress like I'm staying home? Can I just wear leggings and a baggy t-shirt tomorrow and a sports bra? Or do I really need to put on the underwire and jeans tomorrow? And do I need to wear a full face of makeup or just mascara? Thinking about those things ahead of time and getting prepped for it. Get the kids' clothes prepped out. Get the backpacks ready to go. The food and the snacks that you can pre-prep. Do this the night before if you can help it. My kids like to have a glass of milk and a snack first thing in the morning because they get up super duper early and I am not making breakfast at 4 o'clock. So they get a glass of milk and a granola bar at 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm not doing it. We do breakfast around 6:30 and that's when I'll make them eggs or pancakes or whatever. But something to hold them over at 4 o'clock because I am not a morning person in that regard where I can jump out of bed at 4 and just go make breakfast. I just can't do it, okay? And I know this, and that's okay. That is something about me that I've accepted, and my kids are fine with it. My husband's fine with it. And we figured out a way to work with it. So prepping before, getting everything that you can think about ready. What can you do for coffee in the morning? Can you get your cups out? Can you prep backpacks? We talked about that. What can you do ahead of time to make it a little bit easier for you in the morning? Can you fill the car or the van with whatever supplies that you need to be leaving in the morning? Do you have a work bag that you take? Can you get that ready and put it by the door? Are the lunch boxes out? Maybe the lunch boxes are packed in the fridge already. Think about the things you can prep ahead of time to take that one less thing off your plate in the morning. All right? Third habit is to list out your top priorities, okay, for the next day. And that is so big because when I go to bed, at least, my head is wrapped around all the things I need to do the next day, right? I'm thinking about my schedule. I'm thinking about where I need to go, when I need to be there, what tasks I need to get completed, what's on my list to do tomorrow, what's on my list for the full freaking week. What appointments do we have this week? And I'm thinking about that before bed, and then I can't calm down and relax and just go to sleep because my head's going 100 million miles an hour thinking about all the things I need to do tomorrow when I need to be thinking about tonight and going to bed, and I can't. And counting sheep doesn't always help. So, write them down. All right? Get them out of your head. Release them from your mind so you can relax and go to bed. So, write them down. Look at your schedule. Look at the things that you need to do tomorrow so that you can have a mental game plan or even a written game plan if that's what you need to do in review. I have an appointment in the morning. I have a client call in the afternoon. My kid's got this appointment, whatever it is, okay? Being aware of it so you have that game plan running in your head, running on paper and planned out so that way you're not overthinking right before you're going to sleep about what do I need to do tomorrow. All right. And then I would also suggest writing down 3 to 5 priorities for the day, for the week, whatever fits your fancy. I prefer for the day because I like to be extremely overly productive, but I also like to feel like I accomplished something. So my 3 to 5 things could be get my oldest to school on time. That could be one of my things. Like, that's important, right? That's a priority for the morning, is to have all these other things done so that we can get all 3 kids loaded into the car to get him to school on time. So that's a priority. Writing out those 3 to 5 things. Giving yourself your mental break before bed. So that way you know what it is and you have your game plan. And leave that list of priorities, your planner, your schedule, however you're going to be writing this down and tracking it, somewhere that you can easily grab it and review it in the morning. And that is just visible, right? Don't put it away. Leave it out so you can see it and reference it in the morning. Be like, yeah, okay, I know what I'm doing. I got this. We're good. Keep going. All right. That was 3. 4, personal hygiene. I don't know what it is about washing your face, but at least for me at times, it's almost like a reward or like a punishment or I'm too tired, I'm just going to go to bed thing. Like, I don't fully understand the mental block that's there sometimes, but for some reason, washing my face before bed and doing some of those hygiene things before bed is difficult. Like, oh, I'm just too tired. I spent too much time on my phone. I'm just going to go to bed. I know I should wash my face, but I'm just going to go to bed. I'm too tired. I can't do it. And there's like this mental block that's there. So breaking through that and giving yourself the priority and telling yourself that your needs are important too, and prioritizing that self-care in regards to getting that makeup off your face, washing your face, brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, whatever it is that you like to do for personal hygiene before bed, and do it. Okay? If you're going to take a shower and you need to do a hair mask because it's hair mask night, do it. Don't let the negativity and all of that negative self-talk stop you from doing the little things that make you happy. Those little habits, those little shows of endearment that you can give yourself, and just do it. Okay, number 5. Put the phone into sleep mode about an hour before bed. All right? You do not need the distractions of social media, games, email, whatever, that last hour before bed. All right? You need to disconnect from the fast pace, the instant gratification, all of the energy that comes with being on your phone before bed, and just disconnect from it. Like, plug it in, put it upside down on your nightstand table, leave it in the kitchen, wherever it is that you put it. But put it down for that hour before bed and see how you feel, knowing that you not having that stimulation right before trying to close your eyes for sleep at night. Right? There have been so many studies showing that being on your phone right before bed is bad for you. So put it into sleep mode, set the timer on your phone, like there's like a wake sleep thing that you can do. And if you normally try to go to bed by 10, have it set for 9, 8:30, so that way your phone in its own self mutes a lot of those notifications that you don't necessarily need right now. so you can have a more relaxed night before bed. Okay, so that's 1 through 5, all things that you can do before bed. Maybe not necessarily right before going to bed, but those nights or those hours before bed while you're trying to relax and get into that better headspace to actually go to sleep. Oh, and one of my favorite things to do before going to bed and to help me relax and calm down and just, get into that headspace is a cup of tea. I absolutely love getting like a chamomile lavender tea that like last hour before bed. It just helps to calm the body down in like a natural way where you're not taking like a melatonin or anything like that. You're just having this simple routine where you're drinking a nice cup of tea that has no caffeine in it. It's warming, it's soothing, maybe put a little honey in it. Just saying. A little extra thing. Not on the list, but could be on the list because it's something I do quite regularly. Alright, so back to the list. Number 6. Meditation and or prayer before bed. Now, this is something that you could do in bed. You could have your cup of tea on your nightstand table. You could be in bed and you're going to do some deep breathing exercises to help clear your mind and help you relax. And you've already written everything down, all your priorities. You've already gone over your list for the next day, for the week, and it's already down on paper. So now you can just relax, okay? Maybe pray, read your Bible, and do those things. Like just recenter for the night, all right? 7, I like to read before bed. Now, you can read or you can journal if you like to journal. Some people like to journal in the morning. Total personal preference here on where and when this happens for you. But I like to read before bed personally. It helps me to be distracted and pull those, thoughts of the things I need to be doing later out of my head a little bit and just kind of distracts the brain. So, read a good book. I would suggest a book for fun, not necessarily a book for learning. Okay? Because we're not trying to stimulate the brain here with like a textbook style book or a self-help book where we're learning and that's the goal, is to learn and absorb something. We're taking notes and we're highlighting. No. That's for during the day. This book is a bedtime book. This is your fiction book, your fantasy book, your biography book about someone's life. It's the enjoyment of the book, not the benefit of the book. I hope that makes sense. Enjoyment, not benefit. It's the fun books. The books you probably haven't read in a couple years because you've been so busy as mom that you're just like, what even book do I read right now? Get it. Totally get it. I think I've been reading the same fiction book for a couple months now. I started reading it, okay, and then life and too exhausted that I did like the meditation and I skipped part 7 of reading and just like went to bed because I was too tired. Newborn, babies, let's go. That I've been reading the same book, I want to say, for like 5 or 6 months, and I restarted the book, okay? Like I started reading the book and then I took a break because, life. And then I went back to the book, realized one of my kids pulled the bookmark out of the book, and I couldn't figure out where I was. I couldn't remember. I could remember bits and pieces of what I read, but it had been so long that I couldn't remember the last scene that I had read, that I couldn't figure out where I was. So I just started over. So now I'm reading this book for the second time, but I'm finally caught up to the point where I have not read the book yet. So I'm finally into that new section of the book. And I've learned, okay, extra pro tip here for moms with toddlers. I love the sticky note, the little plastic ones. Okay, not the paper ones. The little plastic ones that you use in like your textbook to just kind of highlight the page, or like the ones that you see in the sign here stickers. Love those for bookmarks because those are really sticky and they're plastic, so they don't rip very easily, and if the kid puts them in their mouth, they don't fall apart and disintegrate, and it's just a little bit harder, to get out of the book when your toddler finds the book, grabs the book, throws the book around the room, all the fun things that they like to do. And then you lose your spot because who takes pictures of the book pages that they're on and then remembers that it's in their pictures? Or, I don't even know, like dog tails, is that the right word? Where you fold down the corner of the book page. I'm not a fan of that. I like to keep my books pretty and smooth when I can. So I don't like to do that personally. Yet I will highlight in my self-help books. So make that make sense. I got nothing. But, sidetracked. These are the 7 habits that I would encourage you to incorporate into your nighttime, your bedtime routine. To have a more productive day in the morning, to have a more restful sleep tonight, you want to incorporate a bedtime routine. And you want to be consistent with it. And you want to do it as often as you can. All right, if you've been paying attention to my little side antidotes here, you've probably noticed that I am not 100% with this. All right, I do my best to do these things. Life happens. Kids, things come up. There are going to be those nights that you are just completely exhausted and you're just going to hit your head on that damn pillow and go to sleep. And that's totally fine. Do not beat yourself up because you could not do steps 1 through 7 every single night for the rest of your life. Okay? The goal here is to create meaningful, beneficial habits. And to understand that it should be an enjoyment. It should be something that you look forward to, that is a part of your routine, but adds value. Okay? It should not be removing value. It should not be a burden or something that's going to cause you mental, physical discomfort because you didn't do it. Okay? There should not be this whole beating yourself up mentally because you didn't go wash your face. You didn't reset the kitchen and now you're a bad mom because you didn't set the house up correctly and the kids are all upset. They're not really, let's be honest. But you think that they are, whatever other projection that you might be going through your head right now. Okay? These are supposed to be beneficial. These are supposed to help you. They are not supposed to hinder you or cause more problems or make your life harder. So of these 7 things that I listed as a habit, if you're listening to these and you're saying, I can't do all of this, this is way too much, start with 1. Just start with 1 and add to it. Okay? And I can't tell you which of these 7 are the right one for you to start with. I can give you suggestions, absolutely, but I cannot tell you which one is going to be the best one for you to start with today. If you're just going to pick one. You need to take that second and think about, what do you need right now? What is your biggest negative thought before bed, first thing in the morning? What are you thinking? What do you need to change and address right now? Are you beating yourself up first thing in the morning because the house is dirty and you're waking up to a dirty house? Are you an angry mom in the morning or a frustrated mother in the morning because you're not ready for the day, because you have to help the kids pick out their clothes, you have to do the lunches and pack the bags, right? Are you sleeping in your makeup and not taking those couple of minutes to wash your face and just kind of reset that way? Are you not putting your phone down and taking the time for you? Are you constantly thinking about all the things that you need to do, that you're just lying in bed for hours on end because you cannot stop thinking about your to-do list? Right? Take that second and think about, what of these things is my biggest trigger, my biggest problem, my biggest overwhelm right now? And then pick one of these 7 habits that you think would best help counter that negative thought, that negative feeling that is going on right now, and implement it right away. And then when you're ready, implement another one, and another, and another, until you get to all 7, or you get to all 5. Whatever number makes you feel good. Okay? I suggest all 7, right? Because these are the 7 things that work for me. But maybe out of these 7, there's 5. Maybe out of these 7, They're a little bit different. Maybe there's something on this list that you're not a big fan of, but you do something else instead. That's totally fine. My whole point here is having that repetition, having those positive pieces at the end of the day to reset yourself, to reset your mind, and to allow yourself to get a good night's sleep, a deep night sleep, rest. Okay? Because we need to calm our brains, calm our minds, calm our bodies down before we go to sleep. Because we cannot spend half of the night thinking about tomorrow, thinking about the what ifs and the plannings and all the things. We need to let it go for a little bit so we can get that good night's sleep. And if you don't feel like you can do that, then you need to implement a couple of things to support yourself so that you can sleep. Because most of the time, a lot of the time, when we feel overwhelmed, frustrated, angry, short-tempered, overwhelmed, I think I said that already, it's that important. We're going to say it like 10 times. When you're having these feelings, when you're beating yourself up and you're telling yourself that what you're doing isn't enough, or you're comparing yourself to someone else, and just all this negative whirlwind that's going on, it can be so easy to get lost in that we need to think about what we can do to counter it. And the best way to counter it is to take that time for ourselves and create positive habits. So take some time, think on these 7 things, and implement one of them tonight. All right? So to recap, real quick. Number 1, reset the house for the night. 2, lay out whatever you have, whatever you need for the morning. Get that prep done. Number 3, write out your list and review your schedule for the next day or for the week so you have a grasp of what's going on and what you need to do. 4, personal hygiene. Go wash your face. Okay? Get that makeup off. Do your lotions and potions so that you feel beautiful and refreshed in the morning, because we don't want bags, right? Okay. 5, put your phone in sleep mode and put it down. 6, meditation, prayer before bed. Oh, and tea. That was the bonus thing I threw in there, right? A little bit of tea. 7, read or journal for fun before bed. All right? That's it. I know it sounds like a lot, but realistically, let's see here. I said reset the house. Try to do that in a 15-minute period if you can. Do it when the kids are awake. So let's just, scratch that for a little bit. Let's say that you do that with the kids are awake. Lay out whatever you need for the morning. You could kind of do that while the kids are awake a little bit, like have them help you pick out the clothes, right? So let's hear. List out priorities. So 3 through 7, you could totally do that within an hour before bed. So set your phone for that hour before for sleep, and you could totally do 3 through 7 within that hour before going to bed. That's it. An hour. Give yourself that hour of self-care and rejuvenation, reconnection, happiness, relaxation. And you'll thank me for it tomorrow, because you're going to get a good night's sleep. You're going to fall asleep faster. All the things. Just take some time to be with you and let it go so you can get your sleep, because we need it. All right, Mama. I hope you're getting ready to have a relaxing night tonight. Get some sleep. And don't forget, you got this. And we'll talk on the next one. Hey, Mama. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I know you have a lot going on, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope this episode gave you new energy to tackle the day. If so, could you leave a review and subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode? That would mean the world to me. I'd also love to connect with you on Instagram, so send me a DM and let me know if this episode was helpful. I love hearing from you. Remember, Mama, you got this. Until next time, I'm Jessa Ray, and this is Caught Up in Motherhood.